Hello there and welcome. It's Fiona from Weekly Sewing Bee. Now it's Thanksgiving week for this week, so I'm going to make some stuff for the tables, and the first video is I'm going to make some pot holders. So they're basically just a little square of cloth, although I'm going to cut them in autumn colours and a leaf. And I'm also going to line this with some heat resistant wadding. Now you can buy this. I would recommend that you are careful when you buy this, because normal sort of wadding might actually be worse than having hot wadding, special hot wadding. So if you can't buy wadding, that's fine. What I would recommend is you use like a tea towel, one of the drying kind, so like a thin towel, and then you'll get protection. Or you can just use a couple of layers of extra cloth just to protect your hands from the heat. Now I have made a start. What I've done is I've laid out 4 fabrics of autumn colours, and I am kind of going to go for a mix and match, and I have penciled in a very nice leaf pattern. So this is folded over as well, so I'm cutting half the leaf, and then I am going to just sew them. So now I am cutting them out at the same time. This is just because these type of fabrics that we're going for, they lay quite flat. So if you are cutting out multiple layers, sometimes you do need to be careful that they don't sort of swish off out and then you're left with slightly different pattern. So there we go, we've got our multiple layers and our multiple colours. Now I would recommend that we go for a nice tight weave. This is just going to be a lot more heat resistant. So, and then I am, next step, going to start sewing. Sorry. So welcome back. What I have here is I have my 2 sheets of fabric on contrasting colours, and I have my 1 layer of wadding, and I'm going to sew around the outside of the shapes, and then I am going to turn it inside out so that the wadding is then in the middle. Let's get that lined up first. Okay, now the machine's all ready to set up. I do need to use a space to turn it inside out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose 1 layer of the sides, and I'm going to leave that open so that I can turn it inside out there. It just makes it so much easier. Okay, now I can see what's wrong with my machine. Every now and again the tensioner gets unfouled, so I'm just going to re-thread that through the tensioner, and then we can start off again. Yeah, it just sort of gets unclipped, but it's a Fiona thing, I'm sure. So I can just about see my fabric through my wadding, but I will at certain points check that I'm there. Okay, and then it's just a matter of following it round. I'm going to leave the needle down and turn it when I come to a corner, just to keep those points nice and sharp. And of course I've given myself a little bit of a stem as well. So this is all good. Alright, so that's that. Yeah, you just have to believe me. I'm going to sew around the outside and turn it inside out. And then I'm left with this. And you can see that I've done my top stitching and I've tucked it all around the other way, which is all great. Now the pattern on the centre, I thought I would just go with a nice plain sort of leaf type pattern. And what you can do is you can draw on your piece of paper, and then you can just follow lines. So very nice and easy. And then at the end you can, I'll do a long one so we can see how easy this is. Now I've chosen red because there's a lot of red in the theme of the table, but obviously the colours you choose to do your embroidery are completely up to you. But this works very well because hopefully it will show out really clearly. You just seem to be in a lot of shadow, don't you? I wonder why that is. Anyway, so I'm sort of halfway done now. And when you're all finished, very, very easily, we can just literally, this is like breaking perforated paper. And if we have a bit in between the stitches that is sort of staying there, put my thumb on it so it stays there, then we can get a pin or we can get a needle and we can just take that last piece of paper out. And there we have a very simple, very unique, homemade pot holder for when we've got those hot pots and we need to pass them around the table. Thank you ever so much for watching. My name's Fiona from Weekly Sewing Bee.